Well, welcome back to Falun for the final day of the cross-country World Cup. And so far, the World Cup final mini-tour has been all about Marit Bjørgen, who has been totally dominant, absolutely superb in Stockholm. And she was on fire yesterday as well to win ahead of her teammates. There are the standings in the overall World Cup, or the World Cup final, I should say. Bjørgen ahead of Kowalczyk. We have heard that Kowalczyk will not be racing today, but we'll confirm that in just a moment. Let's have a chat with Marit Bjørgen,
never easy, but it's lots of second, and yeah, hopefully I could be first in the finish line. But I also have to race and have a good day and good skis, and yeah, not falling. So yeah, of course everything is possible. So I'm looking forward.
Do you think you can enjoy the last meters of the season?
Yeah, I hope so. But you never know on Teresa. She's a strong woman, and yeah, I also have to. It has been tough races so far, so we'll see how much power we have again tomorrow.
Well, we will see how much power she has today. Always a little bit cagey. I think she must be hugely confident at the moment after the way things have gone so far. And she has over a minute advantage on everyone else at the start of today. Here we go then, the final day of the season, not quite as pleasant as it was yesterday. The wind has picked up, still got good crowds here in Falun. 3 times round the 3-kilometre loop for the women to make up their 10-kilometre, and 2 features really. The first climb, which is steady but painful, and then a fast downhill section before they take the final climb, which is very, very steep. And that essentially is where all the races have been decided so far.
And interestingly, Marit was saying that she's as long as she doesn't fall, because these corners that's the only thing that could, I think, upset Marit with that huge lead that she has. And she said, as long as I don't fall, it should be fine. But my skis still have to run well, and I still have to push hard, which is the story of the season.
Well, she's certainly capable of that. It's been an interesting season for Marit Bjørgen. You will have, if you were with us all the way through, you'll know that she pulled out just before Christmas with a few health scares, missed 18 races, but has come back, taken a little bit of time to get back to her best, but she's certainly on top form at the moment. 8 wins already this season, and if she hasn't won, she's finished in 2nd place. It's a phenomenal record. Kowalczyk, on the other hand, 11 wins. She's amassed a massive amount of points, over 2,000 points. She's almost up to 300,000 Swiss francs of prize money. Things going pretty well for the Pole. She's
had a great season, and it's a pity she's not starting today. 2nd place here, an opportunity to win even more prize money. We haven't quite got the real, it has to be health, but they're being a bit cagey with what is actually wrong.
Yeah, she's throwing away, by not racing today, she's throwing away essentially £15,000 for covering 10 kilometres. I can't think of many people who'd be prepared to do that. So, the women ready to go. The last day of the season, 10 Ks to go. Bjørgen starting number 1, looking a little bit nervous, which is a surprise. Johaug wearing bib number 3. As you can see, no Justyna Kowalczyk on the start list. Charlotte Kalla starts number 4, ahead of Niskanen 5. And Heidi Weng, the 21-year-old Norwegian, who's had a fantastic season, starts number 6, and she's number 5 in the World Cup standings at the moment. Koloinen 7, Jakobsen 8, Osberg 9. The top 10 peppered with Norwegians. Latenmäki of Finland goes number 10, Katrin Zeller 11. Further down, Keegan Randall starting 15, and Keegan Randall needs to be a little bit careful, Mike. She's 3rd in the World Cup standings. By my reckoning, she's got to finish in the top 15 to ensure that she doesn't get pushed off the top 3 by Marit Bjørgen, who should pick up the full 200 points today.
Well, the American team are fully aware of that. Randall did say after yesterday she's certainly feeling it. They're all feeling it. Her confidence didn't seem quite the same as normal, but I hope Randall can hang on in there and keep that 15th position.
So Marit Bjørgen with a pretty positive start. I don't think she's going to play any silly games today, Mike, and take the first couple of laps easy. I think she'll just try and hold on to that advantage. 120 clear of Therese Johaug. who has still got to wait and wait and wait, and Bjørgen disappearing over the horizon and just about to start the first of the long climbs here in Falun.
Well, that was interesting. The first minute there, Bjørgen just not overly pushing it, and then all of a sudden got to the climb and she went into her dynamic, her strong moves. And with the full knowledge, Therese is going to try and close this gap.
Is she going for the 120, or is she going to concentrate on holding off Charlotte Kalla, who starts just 6 seconds behind her? This really is where the race gets interesting. Kowalczyk's withdrawal is disappointing on so many fronts. Everyone's been speculating why it is. It's most likely to be health. She looked tired yesterday, but if anyone can dig deep and do a final 10 kilometers, she can. What do you think it is? She wanted to get in that BMW and drive home?
I can't understand it. Yes, of course it has to be a health issue, otherwise she would be here today. And I know she doesn't like the skating, it doesn't suit her as much as the classic racing, but why not start this one?
Heidi Weng about to get underway, 1:52, and you can see that she's eager. She's going to be chasing down Niskanen of Finland, looking for extra prize money and extra World Cup points today. Heidi Weng, though, has to concentrate on behind as well, because Anne Kiloinen starts 7, Jakobsen is number 8, and Österberg 9. So we've got some little groups here, Mike, and I think although the places are well spread out, we will see pairs who work together well and make time. We'll see those who aren't prepared to take the lead and lose time. So I think it's going to be an interesting outcome. Jakobsen with those short, sharp, stabbing poling actions to get herself underway. And then Østberg goes for Norway. Another youngster in the Norwegian team. Team success tends to go in cycles, Mike. The Norwegians have really been there now since the Swedes faded. Well, the Swedish women have never really been at the top. I guess the 80s, 90s was dominated by Russia, and since then it's all been about Norway.
It has, but I think this is the strongest that we've seen with, you mentioned the young athletes coming through, Heidi Weng, Østberg, and of course, well, Jakobsen winning the World Championship sprints when she was only 19, so much potential.
Number 15 is Kieken Randall. We're going to keep an eye on her. She's 3rd in the overall rankings at the moment, having won the sprint title. So she's got plenty of glass to take home, but she'd love the glass trophy that she would get for finishing 3rd in the overall. Marit Bjørgen too far behind, having missed the bulk of the season to get anywhere near the top of the standings. But she could go into 3rd if she picks up 200 and Kieken Randall gets less than 30 points.
So it was good seeing Bjørgen's. Hopefully we'll have another chance to pick up on our technique. Well, this is Therese Johaug, who's got a completely different style. It's all about aggressive and fast tempo.
Yeah, she's already working flat out, isn't she? She's not hanging around. Beautiful style, great glide, but we've seen that Johaug's weakness here in Falun is on the downhills. Not that her technique's bad, she just doesn't have enough body weight to pick up the speed that someone like Bjørgen and certainly Kowalczyk could if she could stay on a clean line.
Yeah, I think Therese potentially, although some of the track today a little different, 3.3 kilometers, and we're missing the tough tracks. The men later will be doing the very curvy section at the top of Mörderbacken. I think Marit is just that the strength in her legs, the strength in her upper body, and that incredible balance she has on the skating skis makes her so good.
Well, Johaug certainly looks to have the higher work rate at the moment. We'll get an indication after the 1.4 kilometers, because the starting distance was 1:20, or the time between the first and the second starter, 1:20. Johaug with 5 wins this season. Here she is, wearing 3. Charlotte Kalla. Kalla's had a really good record in the Tour de Ski, Mike. She's finished 3rd on 3 occasions. 2009 when it started, 2010, and again last year behind Bjørgen and Weng. So Charlotte Kalla would love to get into the top 3 again today.
And there's some psychology there, isn't there? Every time we see Kalla racing at home in Sweden, she's more relaxed. She builds her confidence. I know there's the home advantage with all these wonderful spectators, but she's certainly looked better the last 4 days of racing than she has for many days this whole season.
Charlotte Kalla started 6 seconds behind Therese Johaug. Johaug, remember, was 1:20 behind, so she's made up 8 seconds on Bjørgen at the moment. It's good, but it's not enough. And Kalla 1:21, so Kalla losing a couple of seconds to Therese Johaug, but she looks very comfortable at the moment. 1:37 behind for Niskanen. Which way is she going? Looks to have lost just a few seconds. Nothing drastic. Heidi Weng was 1:52, and it looks as though Heidi Weng has closed the gap on Niskanen. We'll get that in a moment. Niskanen has lost some 5 seconds to the race leader at the moment, Marit Bjørgen. Through goes Weng. She was 1:52. She's made up 1 second, but has closed the gap down on Niskanen in front. Now, Mike, tortoise or hare, how do you like to play it? Do you like to chase, or do you like to be out in front?
I think it's, depending on the gap, I think it's easier being the chaser. At the front, there's tension. You've got nothing to gauge by. You know that the world is chasing you. So as long as it's small margins, I think I would prefer to be chasing. But it's comfortable out here. 1:20. It's huge, Patrick, and you can just feel that Marit so far isn't stressed in any way. These are the difficult corners.
Well, she said she's got to make sure she stays on her feet, and that was a very conservative corner indeed. Johaug, if she attacks that part of the course, can make up a couple of seconds without any doubt at all. But Bjørgen has the luxury of time, 1:20. In distance terms, we're looking at 500 meters. So it is quite a comfortable lead. I think what she's got to try and do is stay out of sight of Therese Johaug. This might be the only time they see each other if the crowds weren't there. And well done to the Swedes for turning up in big numbers. It's a fantastic occasion, great atmosphere. And we've had 1 or 2 races this year, Mike, where we haven't had the numbers in the crowds. And the contrast is unbelievable.
Look at